Live.
Hallelujah. We're here. We're live.
We figured it out.
If you guys could hear us and see us, please hit us up on the chat if you don't mind.
Right.
The production was kind of last minute here, so we apologize. Let's see. Let's see if looks like we're live. Let me check YouTube. Oh, it says we're live. It says I'm live.
Looks like we're good.
Twitter. Okay. Now I'm echoing.
Sounds good on my end, Dylan.
All right. I'm echoing.
I think we're good to roll.
I'm still echoing. Give me a second. All right. I was on Twitch. All right. Can you hear us okay? Brady, can you hear me?
Sounds like everybody's in. Yep, I can hear you.
All right. Beautiful.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
It's been a few years.
Happy Breeders' Cup Friday to y'all. Thanks for joining us. We really appreciate it. This is going to be very laid back and casual. And you got Dylan, CEO in the house. You have my good friend Brady, who's been on an absolute heater. So I'm glad he could join us today. We're going to go over just the basics of, excuse me, there's a few of you wanted some information on how to handicap the DRF in certain angles. So we'll go over a bit of that. As well as today's races. We're not going to get into tomorrow's races. We don't, unfortunately, have the time. I got to get over to Gulfstream Park today. But in the interim, I'll pull up the PPs, Brady. Why don't you get started on race one and show people, what you look for on as far as angles, and I'll get into it as well.
Yeah, certainly. Glad to be back. Wish we were all at Del Mar today. I know it's been a few years since I've been to a Breeders' Cup in person because they've all been on the West Coast, and we'll at least get one back to Kentucky next year to be at live and in person. It's always exciting, waking up on Breeders' Cup Friday and, just knowing the opportunities that are in front of you and trying to navigate your way, to your strongest opinions. The last thing anybody wants to do is lose their bankroll before they get to, race 7 or 8 where their strongest opinion is. And so, these early races, you could treat them as building your bankroll or like a survive and advance. And so if you watch the racing yesterday, looked like the turf course was playing pretty fair. I thought the speed was a little bit tough on the dirt for the first half of the card. But, it looks overall pretty fair and equal racing on the surface. First race, we're going a mile, optional claimer, 50,000. Lukewarm favorite in Westwood at 7-2. On everything that I'm looking at here, I've got my top 4 horses all about the same on numbers, all within 3 points of each other. When I'm looking at the form here, I'm trying to look at, okay, how's this pace going to set up? I'm looking at the time form, early numbers, who's going to be in front heading into that first turn. One thing about Del Mar is that first turn comes up so quick. And, everything that everybody's listened to is, oh, you don't want to draw outside. You don't want to draw outside. Well, depending on, the style of the horse, a few years back, Corniche drew way outside when Pletcher's horse scratched and went gate to wire. It wasn't that hard going from the first turn. And so Del Mar's kind of interesting. If you do go get the lead, you can go gate to wire, but kind of sitting that mid-pack trip is difficult at these tight turns. And so I had 4 horses marked here. I had the 1, the 9, the 11, and then the 13 Latitude if he draws in for Sadler and Rosario at 8-1. This was one of those legs where I'm like, okay, you don't want to spend too much money trying to, go all, or, do I really want to catch a price here? To me, this was kind of a survive and advance type of race. Not one that I'm really excited about playing. But if I had to pick a top selection, I'm going to go with the number 11 horse Legitimate for Pratt and Mike McCarthy. Pratt rode this horse last time out, was on a looks like a sloppy surface here to finally break his maiden. Looked like they figured something out with this horse. Jumped up the buyer from 67 to 83. We've kind of seen a nice natural progression from 56 to 67 to 83. And that was coming off of a little bit of a layoff. So, this should be the third start in the cycle. You get 6-1, and let's start off with Pratt. That's never a bad thing.
Excellent. I'm finagling here with chat, so don't mind me. A little bit of ADD this morning. All right, so we got a few questions here. Brady, why don't you go over your angles? For example, let's use Westwood. What do you look for? Like when you got the racing form out, what are your like the angles that like jump off the page? Number one, just give us your top like 3 or 4 angles.
Yeah. Top angles would be okay. Where has this horse been sitting in his races recently? And so, if you look back to like the last 4 or 5, the horse can go gate to wire and turn them all back. The horse can sit fourth. The horse is versatile. And so that's an angle that I'm looking for. If everything doesn't go his way, he can win on the lead. He can win sitting mid pack. That's a good angle, especially, with this 2 turn mile with a short run into the first turn. I also want to kind of look at who he's been running against. And this Westwood horse has been running against Gaming and Nevada Beach, Journalism, Baeza. I mean, the best company out west. So I'm looking at class. The third thing I would be looking at is has the trainer really figured out what this horse wants to do? Or are we trying to jump back and forth from turf to dirt, from route to sprint, and vice versa? They kind of figured out after the first race that they sprinted on the Del Mar turf that turf really wasn't going to be where they're going to send this horse long term. They started sending him longer, mile and a 16th, mile and an eighth. And then recently, when he's had some major success, finally breaking that maiden and then finishing second in similar company, going a flat mile at Del Mar and Santa Anita. So to me, they've placed this horse in a perfect spot that has a great chance to win. Not going to be my top selection at 7-2, but definitely going to be on the ticket.
Okay, excellent. I appreciate you sharing those angles. I'm not a big digital guy, so I'm old school. I print up the DRF and these pages, and
me too.
As you can see, I have there's a lot of highlights on each page, and my highlights are angled.
What are you highlighting? What are you looking for on an angle on an optional claimer on Breeders' Cup Friday, first race of the day? You want to make sure you advance. What are you looking for generally?
Yeah, as you alluded to, I look for class, especially in these type of races. Who's dropping, who they've been running against. As the example with Westwood, he's been facing some monsters, Journalism and Gaming, Baeza. So yeah, that's the class. Obviously, that's number one angle for me. I would say I'm big into fractions, as you know, Brady. I look at the last quarter or last half a mile. Obviously, you have to compare it with the fractions are off. If you're looking at Oaklawn Park versus Del Mar, the fractions are off by 1 or 2 seconds. But you have to really know the consistency of that track and the bias. So yeah,
if they're timing the races correctly, that's been an issue at some tracks.
Oh, totally. So yeah, I'm big into fractions. Obviously, I'm looking at the workout reports. I'm also watching horses work out, to see how they, especially on today and tomorrow, when you have the best of the best horses. I'm looking at the workout, and pretty much, those 2 things and pace scenario will be my keys. And certainly, the second off a layoff, the angles that we all pretty much use is common knowledge. I use a lot of those angles as well.
So question for you, Dylan. When we've got all the best jockeys in the world all in one spot, are we going to upgrade the West Coast jockeys a little bit? Some of these horses in the next 2 days, whether it's an international shipper or a horse coming from the East Coast, will pick up a ride from, Antonio Frezu, Hector Barrios, Juan Hernandez. Do we upgrade these jockeys a little bit because it's home turf advantage, or does jockey not matter as much?
I don't think so in California, because a lot of these jockeys have been out here, at least once or twice a year minimum when there's big races. So you know me. I'm not like I'm very opinionated when it comes to jockeys, but with these horses, I don't think jockeys make a big difference. To be honest with you, I mean, you have the best jockeys on the planet the
Mhm.
next days at this track, so.
Yeah,
Um,
I know there's a lot of hype, whether, well, like Ryan Moore's injured. And so, they've got the backup and Sumion riding the O'Brien horses. And then there's a few Charlie Appleby horses that people like the other one that William Buick might not be riding. And so it's going to be interesting. You never want to get caught up in that, if a rider has a choice on a horse or not. There's so much more that goes into it. Maybe the owners wanted to secure a jock, 3 weeks prior and just had to make a decision. Or you know what, maybe they make the wrong decision and hop on the wrong horse. So, but
yeah,
yeah, for me in this race, it's a tough one to get started with. I kind of want to go 4 deep, take my chances and try to lean on some opinions later on in the pick five.
all right, so you're going to fire a pick five, and most likely you're going to go 4 deep in this race, correct?
Yes. I would go 1, 9, 11, and then add the 13 at 8-1 if he can get in.
All right, I'm going to write these down, and we'll post these our picks for the early pick five after we're done with this. So give me 1, 9, 11.
Yes, and then 13 if he draws in. I believe we should have scratches here soon. It looks like the tote just opened up at Del Mar. Westwood's 8-5, and Latitude has not been scratched yet. We'll see if we can maybe get some information on if he's going to go or not.
All right, I didn't get the updated scratches as of yet on Brisnet. All right, the only horse, ironically, on my shallow ticket, I was 4 deep with the same horses. There was something interesting about the 6 in race 1. Had a trouble tripping last. He's 1-for-1 at Del Mar. I thought there was some upside, and it's a first off a claim for Knapp. So if we're going 4 deep, you're going 4 deep, I'm going 5 deep. I would add the 6 in there. So we'll post both of our tickets. I'm going to put this in now, and then we'll send it to the group to everybody once we're off. All right, great. Let's go to race 2.
Race 2, we're going a mile on the grass. Got a pretty strong opinion here at a price at 8-1. I'm going number 7, later than planned, D'Amato Rispoli. I think it was these two that won at 18-1 in the first race yesterday on that 4-horse that seemed like nobody had. That was a shorter morning line than he went off at. We're getting 8-1 here. Rispoli's been on for the last 3 rides. This horse came over from Ireland, and he has been hanging out. Broke its maiden, first time America at Del Mar. I really like seeing that, especially when they bring over these international horses. A lot of times they can break slow from the gate, lose a lot of weight on the travel over and not be ready to go first time out. He was ready to go first time out. Second time out, they put him in the Del Mar Juvenile Turf Grade 3, and that was a little bit in over their head. Now we're getting back. Just lost my DRF. Let me get back here real quick. Thoroughbred Aftercare Alliance, $200,000 race. One last time out again at Santa Anita Sprinting. So I would expect us to, maybe be a little bit more forward than this horse has showed. Maybe sit that 3rd or 4th, and then Rispoli just finds the seam at the top of the lane. And, we've got a horse hopefully at 8-1 that they're trying to run down after he gets the lead.
All right. As you're going over these races, I'm getting some messages here. Can I elaborate more? We look for closing fractions. It really depends upon the race. I mean, I don't really look at them much in sprints, but the 2-turn races, if someone's closing where there's slow fractions up front, someone's closing at 22 or sub 23, that's a horse I'm going to look at. Where there's a late kick. Some of the grade 1 horses, you see some horses closing at 21 the last quarter, which is, unbelievable, especially on turf. That's basically it. It really depends upon, how the race is playing out. The bias, is it, slower, is it faster? But that last quarter could really turn me on or turn me off to a horse.
Yeah, and the horse can only run, their top speed for maybe 3/8 of a mile. And so, I remember watching races at Keeneland. There were so many horses that we liked at prices that, you can only make up so much ground. You're not going to run a quarter in 9 seconds, even if you are a tremendous closer. There's a horse tomorrow that I'm really looking forward to in the mile, that we'll get to maybe later on, that I think a lot of people are going to overlook, finishing, fourth last time out, closing like a rocket, but just wasn't put in the right position. So positioning matters to get yourself in that position to have that closing fraction to get you up first to the wire. But yeah, it's all dependent on the track. We'll see early on today how it's playing. But everybody needs to remember that we're getting 14 Grade 1 races. When we're watching claiming horses and maiden special weights, there could be a track bias for that level of animal. But then when you get a Grade 1 animal out there, the bias could completely be thrown out the door.
Yeah.
Especially with these O'Brien horses drawn so far to the outside. I think I'm glad that they did, and we'll get to them later because it makes for a lot more fun handicapping.
Absolutely. So, my only issue with the 7 is that he had everything his way in the last race. There was no pressure. He set the perfect trip. Good value, obviously, 10-1. And you'll probably get something maybe 6-7-1 more than odds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's an angle that I like. I like it when they shorten them up to turf sprint. They run kind of that closing style and kind of win easily. I never like it when you see a horse that runs in a turf sprint and then they come closing late but never get there, and then they win the gallop out. People think, oh, that horse wants longer. He's screaming longer. No, he just was not in a good position. And so this one doesn't scream that to me, considering they have won in a mile before, and so I'm not worried about the distance. I just like the sharpening up factor of last race.
Okay, fair enough. Let's see. Gun to my head in this race. Race 2, I like the 4 horse. Obviously, I'm a big Grand Motion guy. These last 2 races, very impressive. Second time long, which obviously another angle for me. Workouts are good. The breeding is there. Closing fractions for the field are pretty much all in line. Nothing really, there was no real standout as far as the fractions. Obviously, it's going to be about the trip as most races. There was a lot of speed in this race, and your 7 horse is one of the few closers. So you can look at that as a strength with that horse. But I would say the horses that I'm on in this race, I'm on 2, 4, 5, leaning to the 2, 4. Taking a shot against the Baffert and Pratt horse, which will get hammered. I'm sure.
I wasn't using Baffert and Pratt on this ticket. I mean,
the 7?
I'm not going to single the 7. I was 2, 4, 7, 8.
7, 8.
Du Jour was a horse 4 or 5 years ago that Baffert had on the grass that was tremendous. This is not that horse. I mean, can you name 5 Baffert horses that have ever won on the turf? I mean, it's just not. It's not what he does well. I know they sent him dirt. They tried him turf. They sent him dirt again in some stakes races. This looks like a softer spot for him. But when you're getting Grand Motion at 5-1 and you're getting D'Amato Rispoli at 8-1, I just think this horse is going to be massively overplayed, and I'm willing to lose if this horse happens to win.
Cool. I love that, man, because that horse should be hammered in the windows. I'm going to look at the double wheel pace in a few minutes, but I'm sure that horse is going to be his favorite. So I'm going to go on my deeper tickets, 2, 4, 5, 8, narrow 2, 4, 5, and then I might I'll probably single the 4 on some of my tickets as well. So let me add this that I'll share with everybody when we're off. Why don't we go to, in the meantime, do we have any other questions about this race, or we can go on to race 3? We good?
I think we're good.
Okay. All right. We're at, go ahead, Brady. I'll let you get this one.
Yeah, there was 2 horses that I was really interested in this race. The 7, 2 Sassy, and then the 9 Mohaven. This is another one of those tough ones. We're going 7, awkward distance for a lot of horses. Typically I like to see a horse that's actually run at this distance before. Don't have the luxury in this race I don't know if anybody's gone 7, truthfully. I like the outside draw in these 7 furlong races. I feel like you get that extra furlong in a sprint to kind of work your position and your trip out rather than it being a flat, 5.5 or flat 6 where it's just a scramble and the first turn comes up really quick. So
Mhm.
I like these outside horses being able to work themselves over. We've got stakes race experience for the 7-2 Sassy. You're getting 9-2. Um, one last time out, mine going shorter at a price. But I believe that this horse will stretch out just fine and get that extra furlong and a half. And then Hector Barrios on the 9 Mohaven has been really kind of coming into his own the last couple of years out west. And so he gets the call from John Sadler. This horse got a pretty quick pace last time out, going 5.5, and showed some promise closing. Where last time out he was able to go to the lead and hold him off. And so I see versatility there. I'm not, afraid to go too deep in this leg and leave out the 4. I think the 4 is probably going to be your post-on favorite, coming off of a maiden score for Peter Urton and Antonio Frezu. I'm willing to pass and say, show it to me first with this 4. I'll just be going 7-9.
Interesting. I think the 4 is going to be bet heavily in that race, 2-1 range.
Maybe 9-5. Yeah.
You're throwing them out, huh? Okay, fair enough. I had this race looked a bit open to me. I really wasn't not really a fan of this race to begin with, but I was pretty deep. Let's see. I had 4, 6, 9, 12, and the 3 is my long shot play. But yeah, I think that the favorite's going to be tough, even though I'm a little bit deep. So I'll probably single the 4 on my hammer ticket, and then I'm going to go 4 deep, potentially 5 deep. I got to see what the scratches are, but I would say my deep ticket's going to be 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, and more narrow. I'm going to go 4, 9.
The 4 last time out was dead last in a sprint and did circle the whole field. So I'm just wondering how the class of that maiden special weight actually was, which is why I said I just want to see another race for this horse to prove it to me, or did they just freak last time out? But it's a scary one not to have on the ticket. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, that's a really bold move to not use that horse, but I respect that. All right, so give me your horses again in that race so I can ask.
7-9.
Okay, and I'm going to use 4, 6. That's 3, 4, 6, 9, 12, and then on the narrow ticket I'm going to use 4, 9. Okay, cool. We have any questions about this race? Number 12 is Omaha Beach. Outside could go all the way if he's good. Let's look at this 12 horse.
Liberation. Sadler Hernandez.
First time, yeah.
A lot of these horses have been running against each other in the last couple of starts. And so, this could be a group where it is evenly matched, and it's just whose turn is it today. But, like I said, we've not really seen any of these go 7. I'm looking back through the PPs. I don't see a single horse that's gone 7 furlongs in their careers in this race.
The
So
12 went 6.5 last, and the 12 was 2-5 versus a lot of the horses in this field. So, okay, so you're fading the 12. You're on 7-9 only here. Okay,
I'm on just 7-9. Are you worried about the 12 post? I mean, the benefit that the horse has is that you've got plenty of time to work over. But when this horse has been successful, they've been up front, just pressing the pace. And so you're going to have to really, negotiate that first, furlong to try to get over till you get to that first turn and hope, you're not parked 4 wide. That's what I worry about this one is that, it looks like he's not going to be the only one that's going to be up there pressing the pace. And I just worry that he's going to be 4 wide heading into that turn.
Yeah, I think I like the outside post. I have no issues with that. He's definitely going to be wide, but he's going to be close to the pace, if not on it. So we shall see. But the benefit is that he's been he's faced a few of these already, and he's been chalk he's been a big chalk the last 3 races. Okay, cool. So let's go to race 4. 5 furlongs on the turf, which, as you know, not my favorite kind of races. It's the ultimate fitness type of contest in these races. Obviously, you're going to have it's actually a 10-horse field. I don't know if there's any scratches yet, but it's a pretty big field for 5 furlongs. What are your thoughts
It
on
is. There's some international flavor in this as well. We got a 4-1 money line on the 7-horse Puro Magic out of Japan. And I don't know what you do, Dylan, when you're trying to find information on Japanese runners. I kind of just look at the replays. That's really all that I have access to and give it the eye test. The fact that they gave this horse a 4-1 morning line, I think speaks a lot of volumes. This horse has raced all over the world. It's been Japan, it's been in Dubai, now it's coming to America. I just think 4-1's an awfully low price to swallow on a question mark like this. So I wasn't interested in the 4. You've got number 6, Shoot It True for Wesley Ward. We all know how he does in turf sprints. We all know how he gets played in turf sprints. You're not going to ever get a price on him, hardly ever. You're getting 3-1 today. The horse is likely to be up front, even though the last couple of races at Saratoga sat near the back and then mid-pack. And then was able to pounce and win. So, it's one of those rare Ward horses that doesn't necessarily need the lead and can kind of make their own trip and actually pass horses instead of play catch me if you can. So I think the 6 is the most likely winner. Another horse I was interested in was the 4, Queen Maxima. This is our boy Mullins and Hernandez.
Yeah, I love that.
This horse went on a streak. Looks like we won 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row. Kind of late 2024 to early 2025. Tried to step up. Won a grade 3, won another grade 3. Had a little bit of time off. Has had 2 starts come back in this cycle. And I just think this is a Mullins horse that you don't want to leave off your ticket. Looks like the horse has been working really well. JJ stays on board. So I think that's a likely winner. Let's go to this 3-horse, Tahini. So if anybody watched the races yesterday, this DeMuro rider, I don't know a ton about the guy or how long he's been riding. But what did he win? 3 races yesterday, and pretty much all of them were at prices. And so this horse is going to show speed, can be tactical. At 30-1, I think it's worth taking a flyer on this horse. I'm looking at my stuff here, and I've got him as 4th choice. Right behind the 9 Great Venezuela, who will be my other pick in this race. So I'd be going 4, 6, or 3, 4, 6, 9.
3, 4, 6, 9. All right. There's a question on here, Brady, if you don't mind asking. That's it. Yep.
Oh, does the Medan form on Puro Magic give you any confidence in its class? It doesn't, because oftentimes we see those horses ship over to Dubai and they never come back the same, or you're really wondering what you're really running against over there. It was a grade 1. It's just, and then how was the surface good in Dubai? Did they get a rainstorm? So I question the track a little bit too. I just think that at 4-1, I'm not in. At 10-1, I think I'd be giving this horse a look. So I'll let the 7 beat me today. Just not having enough information on him. And, we're getting a rider that has this rider even ridden him before. Yoshiara. I don't think so. So no, I don't care about the Dubai form.
Okay. Thanks for your input on that, Brady. Yeah, it's always tough, first race back from a long trip. We're back.
Back.
I don't know what happened.
Interesting. In the chat here, Callie NC says precise likely to scratch. I haven't been on Twitter in a half hour, so maybe I've missed a lot, but that would be shocking.
Let me look at the scratches now. It's wild. Brisnet hasn't updated yet. Let's see here. Okay. Did you were you able to hear me that I liked Queen Maxima on that race? That's a single for me.
Did not hear that, but going back to Queen Maxima, the 4, our boy Mullins, I don't blame you.
Yeah, that horse I've been playing that horse the last several times out. The last 2 trips were brutal for her, and I think she'll get a better trip today. So hopefully, because that's a big signal for me and a lot of sequences. All right, let's go ahead.
Precise has scratched from the Philly juvenile turf. That's amazing. Write that one down. That would be race. I think it's race 8. Yeah, race 8. You think O'Brien just didn't like the post?
That's everyone that I know singled that horse. Everyone.
Hopefully nobody got futures.
Yeah, that would be awful. Yeah, we'll get into that race. Let's look at race 5.
Okay.
Let's see. Let me pull that up. Oh, can you see on the stream here? You can.
I cannot see the form yet. I just see. There we go. We're back.
I'm going to share one other view here with our selection. So bear with me a second here. On the window, share this. Show on the stream. I don't know if we could show both, but let's go back to the DRF. All right, race 5, 7 furlongs, 2-year-olds. Why don't you get into it, Brady?
Yeah, I've got a pretty strong opinion here of a horse that I think can go gate to wire at a decent price. That would be the number 6, Sammy Davis at 9-2. This horse is lightning fast. Has done everything right so far. Last time out, just couldn't quite get it done, but I think we'll bounce back here for Sadler at a price. The only other horse that I was looking at here would be the number 2, Ocean Bear, for Rispoli and Papa Padromo. This horse has gone a little bit longer, has had success, is going to be the post-time favorite, but I'm very interested about this 6, Sammy Davis, if they can rebound, go ahead and get the lead, run that race 2 back, where they ran a 78 buyer, and no horse sees the light of day trying to pass them. So I'm 2-6 in this race, but I do have a strong opinion about this 6, Sammy Davis.
Yeah, as people that have been following me know that I've been on this horse since the maiden race. My only concern is the extra distance. I don't know what happened to him last race. The fractions, were pretty honest, but just quit. It's a 3 to 5 favorite, 4 to 5 favorite. I might be against. Like I said, I've been playing this horse his first three races. I love.
He had to go a second faster to the half mile than last time out. And I just looked at the pace scenario here, and I think that they're going to have the lead on their own.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the faster horses. Who do you think he's going to be battling up front?
Up front, it looked like the horse to the outside, the 7 here for Frezu and Southern Melody. But I think that the 6 is going to get over and have a length lead heading into that far turn. And then I see the 7 kind of backing up. And then, that's when Rispoli's going to have to start getting after his horse to try to catch him. And so, I mean, this could be an exacta here, a 6-2 exacta is what I would think. But don't leave the 2 off your ticket. The 2 is the most likely winner. But I just think that if the pace scenario works out in Sammy Davis's favor, can bounce back, you're going to get the 9-2, maybe 4-1 on this horse, and be looking at hopefully a good score in the pick 5.
Okay, so who are you on? Which 2 horses?
2-6.
2-6. Okay. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm going to take another shot with Sammy Davis. I'm not, as confident as I've been with this horse, with the added distance. Um, so I'm going to be on those two horses. I might use the, let's see, the 4 horse was interesting to me. I thought he had a trouble trip in the last. What else did I like about this horse? Yeah, had some trouble. Ocean Bear beat him. He was 8-1. But yeah, there's something about this horse. He's faced better. He was in a grade 3 back, and small stakes against a few of the other horses in this race. I'll probably go 4 deep in this race. I just didn't really have a great feel. 2, 4, 6, 9. All right, let's go to race 6. Another 5 furlongs on the turf, my favorite.
Okay, scratches here. Looks like the Charlie Applejuice horse scratched Military Code.
Give me the numbers.
Number two scratched.
Okay.
Yep. So the 13's in. I was actually looking forward to playing this too at 12-1. That's unfortunate.
Brady.
What's that?
14 should have is scratched as well.
Yeah. 14, 15, 16, 17 all scratched on the outside.
All right, cool.
So okay. Interesting. Yeah, I was. I really liked Military Code if he was running, but okay. Without him in this race, here's the thing you have to decide here. Europeans really didn't start winning these turf sprints until recent years. Americans have dominated, especially Wesley Ward in these types of races. You've got Schwarzenegger, who is probably the speed of the speed, but that horse seems to get very leg weary in the stretch. Horse that you can't really trust. His first maiden out at Saratoga was going 5.5. Was in the lead by 6 or 7 until the last furlong, and then got nailed at the wire by outfield. And then second time out, comes back, gets back to Keeneland, where Ward's horses really like to run. Was able to hold off Obliteration and Rogue Legend barely by half a length. So this is the horse that's probably going to scare everybody up front. They're going to take Wesley Ward, turf sprint, juvenile money. And so not really for me today. I'm kind of looking for some more closers. I think Obliteration can actually turn the tables on this horse. We're gonna get some more speed in this race today, and it looks like that's all that Obliteration needed. I was really high on this horse, after the maiden score of 7.5 with Asmussen's son aboard. Then we start getting into some grade 3s. The horse has never finished out of the exacta. And so, with a lot of these horses, like a Sierra Leone type where they just need the right setup, I think Obliteration is going to get a fantastic setup this afternoon. Whether he's good enough, we'll see. But at 15-1, I still like this horse at 6-7 or 1.
Yeah, so you see a pretty quick pace scenario and it falling apart.
Mm-hmm. Always, and even if it doesn't look quick on paper, it always is quick in this race. The Euros that have speed, I don't really like. So this True Love horse, and then I believe it was Havana Anna, were the two Euros that look like they're going to be the two top choices for Europe. I'm against. If a Euro has speed, I don't like them in the turf sprints. We think back to Glass Slippers in 2020 that won at a big price coming from the clouds. And then I believe last year, was it Starlust or someone like that won from the clouds in this race. And so I typically will favor the Euros on the closing side. And I'll typically favor the Americans that are going to be up front.
Okay, interesting. So have you done any homework at all on these Euro horses in this race or anything?
Yeah. So True Love, has been running with some of the best over across the pond. Has only ever gone 6 furlongs, so they're keeping him sprinting. Usually, I expected to see this True Love horse run in one of the juvenile turf races. I just, last year you had Lake Victoria that was O'Brien that was coming out of sprint races in Europe, and they're like, we're going to stretch him out here in the Philly mare, or Philly juvenile turf. I don't like them going up front. I just don't think that they can hang. They're going to be actually sitting 4th or 5th instead of 1st or 2nd. And if a Euro doesn't have that closing kick, that the others do behind them, the others are going to be breathing right down their neck.
So we have John asking us about the Intricate Spirit horse, the Command horse, which I'm on as well. I like 6 and the Sci-Fair horse. Both those horses, we're going to get double-digit odds potentially on this Command horse. Just won the futurity. Closing fractions are they're on par. They don't stick out, but I think he's had the last trip was fairly easy. The 10 seems to have the best closing numbers in the field. Sci-Fair with IRAD. So those are pretty much the 2 horses I'm going to be being on a lot of my pick 4s and pick 5s.
Dylan, it's always hard to get you to back a Clement horse.
Yeah, sure. That's a good one, Brady.
No, I like that. I like him. I like him a lot.
With IRAD, your love-hate relationship with Mr. Ortiz.
It all depends on if he's going to try. If he tries, then he can be the best in the world. And if he decides to take a race off, always got to see where Jose is in this field. If he even has a mount, I don't think he does. So we should get the full effort from Mr. Ortiz here. George Weaver's really done well with turf sprinters recently. And this horse, with the running style, with the pace scenario that we think we're going to get, should be right there as well. I think the determination you have to make is, okay, there's probably 6 or 7 horses mentioned. Do you want to go that deep in your pick 5 ticket, or do you want to try to get skinny and, get by just going with 2 or 3 horses and then trying to find some prices now that Precise is scratched? That was going to be a heavy favorite in race 8. So I would go 5, 6, 10, 11, 12. I don't think we've touched on Lenny Lou yet. That's the B and Cone horse that went over to Europe and finished 3rd to True Love in the Queen Mary on a soft going. Usually these Gulfstream horses don't run very well when it's soft, and this horse proved that didn't matter. And so I think Lenny Lou and Saez for B and Cone on the far outside is definitely going to have a shot at this as well. So I'd be going 5 deep here. Give me the 5, the 6, 10, 11, 12.
Okay. Yeah, we're on similar horses. On my more narrow tickets, I'm going to go 6, 10. All right. Let's go on to the next. Do we have any questions about any thoughts on this race from our followers here? The CEO is using client. I don't know what that is, but anyway. He said Euros Romeo says the Euros have won the last 4 years. A lot of people.
No, because you had 4-wheel drive back in 2019. So that was, you had Twilight Gleaming in 2021. You had Golden Pal in 2020. Yeah. So 4 years ago, let me look at the last 4 winners. I'd like to see that. I'm curious.
Off top of your head?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I could put that to good usage, it would be a lot further along in life.
Good. That is.
do you remember the show on ESPN, Stump the Schwab? I think the guy passed away, but that guy, he was a human encyclopedia of everything sport.
I think you're close, Brady, when it comes to nobody better. I mean, you're
Okay, so now we're into the real races. Juvenile fillies. This is a race that I've historically really struggled with. 2-year-olds have never been my favorite to try to guess. A lot of these guys are good at looking at them at the sale and the yearling. And, I've just never been that confident in this race. It looks like Explora, the 7 for Baffert's probably going to be favored. The only reason is that Tommy Joe, kind of had some trouble last time out, got put up. Percy's Bar was probably much the best that day at Keeneland when they took her down. But in a race here where I just don't know, how the class of the Keeneland horses are going to come over and run against the West Coast horses. I'm looking at this number 1, Iron Orchard for Gargan and Rosario. This is a $2.5 million purchase into Mischief. Won't have any problem getting the distance. I mean, you get Rosario here. He's gone gate to wire with this horse. He's gone, from 6 back. So to me, tells me the horse is pretty versatile. has done nothing wrong, 3 wins now. You're going to get the best price of maybe the top 4 or 5 choices here. And I just see Joel sitting a nice trip, could just tuck in on the rail and then either stay on the rail going forward or angle out. And I just wasn't really impressed with, Percy's Bar or Tommy Joe in their last performance. And Baffert with fillies in the juvenile. Wasn't there a stat that Pletcher and Baffert were like 1 for 49? Pletcher's like 0 for 25, and Baffert's like 1 for 25 or
Wow.
2 for 25 in this race. And so the top 2 choices are going to be Pletcher and Baffert horses. That's why I'm taking a swing here with Iron Orchard.
Okay. And you think he'll sit off? She'll sit off the tape on this one, huh? Going
Mm-hmm. I do. I don't think the distance is going to be an issue for this horse. And I'm getting the price. I'm probably getting a better price than the 2, the 4, the 5, and the 7 on the 1.
So you single on the 1, or are you going? You're going to go deep?
No, I'll use Percy's Bar. I'll use Tommy Joe, and I'll use Explorer. I think that's the right way to go. Just with my top choice being the longest price.
1, 4, 5, 7. Okay. What are your thoughts on this 3 horse?
Meaning 1 start.
Straight to grade 1.
Straight to grade 1. Why are they sending this horse? I don't know. Is there a connection with the Eclipse Thoroughbred Partners and the Breeders' Cup that they wanted a runner? To me, oftentimes when you see a horse like this, they're shipping them out to be like a rabbit, but that's not the case here. This horse isn't going to have the lead. That's a mystery. I'd be passing on the 3. Do the owners have a few other horses in some of the other races, maybe? And
I think this horse is a real deal.
Yeah,
my personal opinion. Yeah, from what I've seen and the workouts. Obviously, the initial race was impressive. Clear, like probably geared down to my recollection. I don't think they're just throwing this horse into a grade 1 just to do it.
it's a big step.
I think this horse has all the tools, and wouldn't surprise me if she wins.
I don't blame you. Hey, the price is right. Can't blame you for a 15-1 shot.
So I'm going to use your horses as well. The 1, 4, 5, 7. So I'm going to go 1, 3, 4, 5, 7. And on my more narrow tickets, I'm going to use the 3 and the 5.
Okay.
All right. Why don't we go to?
All right.
Anybody have any input on this race? All right. Corey's asking about the Thoroughs. Unfortunately, your boy Swift isn't with us today. I'm not a fan of. Let's not. I don't want to get political, but I'm not sharing any data. I'd love to help the community, but there's a lot of tracking capabilities now, and I don't want to get sued. So you'll have to hit up Swift if you have his email. Anyway, all right, let's go on to the next race. We're at race 8.
Yes.
This is your
Juvenile
race.
Fillies Turf.
Yeah.
This is a great race. I wish that our girl Precise was running, but that's not the case now. So the post time favorite's probably going to be Pletcher and Irad on the 9 Time to Dream. It just complete. Yeah, 5-1, probably going to be 3-1. I mean, the horses that I had written down for this race, I have to go back and re-handicap this because, what kind of trip was Precise going to work out? Was she just much the best? I think everybody's getting on this number 1 Ultimate Love for Trombetta and Johnny V. I mean, this horse at 8-1, 3 for 3, has gone the distance, is improving. Is winning by, quite wide margins, sitting that mid-pack trip. I would say that 1 may be the most likely winner. The 9 Time to Dream kind of found her own trouble last time out, which is why I'm against Infinite Sky and Imagination, the Lady, the 2 other horses that came out of Keeneland. I think those are probably the 2 most likely winners with Precise out. But the horse that I'm really interested in is the 5 Final Accord. This is Cassie and Jose Ortiz at 15-1. Gary Barber horse, 2 for 2. We break our maiden. We go to the matron grade 3. Now we're going to go sprint to route. See if this horse can get the distance at the price at 15-1. I'll take a flyer.
Pretty bold right there. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see a ton of pace in this race. You know, a lot of these horses like to stay off. The Euros, it looked like the 12 had some speed. But outside of that, I didn't see a whole lot of pace in this race. So it might be difficult to close.
The 12 is going to be dangerous, though, Dylan. Pacific Mission, the Andrew Balding horse.
Yep.
That horse is going to be dangerous from the outside. I would imagine she's going to be half her morning line price. I guess she's 8-1.
Okay.
Yeah.
You think she's going to the lead from that post? I guess you have to, right?
You have to. You have no choice. It's such a short run up there. Yeah, a lot. We could get a surprise here in this one, that's for sure. And some of the other horses that I like don't have that much early speed, and so the 12 would be the last one that would probably be on the ticket.
Check this 8 horse out when you get a chance.
Brave Deb.
Yeah, Brave Deb.
No, it's DeMuro. He can't miss. He's on fire right now.
He's going to go to the lead and hopefully get bold. I think a horse on the front or right off it's going to win this race. I'm like reluctant to bet any closers in this race. So that's where I'm at. So I'm going to definitely use Brave Deb in this race, along with who else do I have here? I was still kind of handicapping the last couple of races here. Let's see, obviously, 13 game scratch. Now this race is wide open. So I'm going to go with Brave Deb, and I might take a shot with this the Pletcher horse as well. This Celebrity Warrior. He's going to be a bomb. I feel like a price is definitely going to win this race. Quote me on that. All right, so give me the numbers, Brady. Who are you using this race?
1, 5, 9, 12.
1, 5, 9, 12. And I'm going to go with, let's see. I'm going to go with 7, 8, 9, 12. 7, 8, 9, 12. And I'm definitely going to put a couple bucks on this 8 horse to win in place. 7, 8, 9, 12. Okay. Anybody have any insight on this race? Very difficult race. We have Gradar likes Defiance. Let's see. Defiance not in this race. All right. Okay. Gunrunner improving 8 horse. No, that's a different race from Al. Okay, let's go to the next race here. We don't have a ton of more time. I have to head over to Gulfstream Park.
Yeah. Let's go through the juvenile quick.
Yeah.
The most singled horse of the day is going to be Ted Noffey. So if you're contrarian, you want to fade. If you're a chalk player, you probably want to hammer. I'm not so sure. I'm looking at the number 1 Intrepido, the local horse from Mullins at 8-1. I'm looking at the 2 Blackout Time to potentially turn the tables on Ted Noffey. And then I'm looking at Brant, the 7 horse for Baffert. It seems like every year that Baffert has, the juvenile like Cave Rock, Forte goes by him. And then it's the year that, you're not expecting it, that, oh my gosh, he shows up and wins. Horse is stretching out for the first time in Brant. I would hate to have Brant at the top of the lead by 3 and trying to get by him. And so I'm going to try to beat Ted Noffey today, trying to make a score on, Breeders' Cup Friday. Everybody thinks it's just going to chalk out with Precise out. That's not the case. So, on a big ticket, I'd go 1, 2, 7, 8. If I'm, really trying to get crazy, I'm really looking at the 1 and the 2, Intrepido and Blackout Time.
Okay, I like it. You're going to definitely get value on those 2 horses. 7 and 8 are going to take all the money.
All of it.
Yep. You could get 5-1 plus on the 1 horse.
Give a brief thought on the juvenile, Dylan, and then we'll get to the turf and spend a little bit more time on that one.
Yeah, I'm just, I like the horses that you like as well. 1, 2, 7, 8. I'll probably go 4 deep. I'm not going to. I don't think not going to be bold enough to single Ted Noffey in that race. So yeah, why don't we get on to the last race of the day?
Okay. So now you do have the O'Brien Monster and Gastad, and he's lost his last 3 races. Now, granted, they've been, Group 1 company, but, you've got the 14 post. You seem like a little bit of a hanger in Europe. I'm going to look elsewhere than Gastad. I'll let Gastad beat me today. There's a few horses that I liked. I liked the 2, the 3, the 9, the 12, and the 13. And I feel like, if you want to spread here, this is definitely the race to do it. Ward's horse and outfielder, the 3. Interesting, he gets David Egan to ride, who rode him over in France, and doesn't get like a Johnny V or an Irad or, one of the local jockeys out here to ride this Ward speedball going 2 turns. And, he doesn't win all that much going long, but, the Egan and Ward have teamed up twice, and they're 1 for 2. So I think outfielder is definitely going to be dangerous here. Outside of him, if we go towards the outside, Argos, Riley Mott's just coming alive this year, looking like a spinning image of his father training horses. And we all know what Pratt can do on the grass. This horse won a Grade 1 last time out at Woodbine. We're going to see how that form translates down. And I want to see if this 9 horse wins, it's going to upgrade a few more horses for me tomorrow.
Okay. So who are you on? You said 2, 3, 9, 12, 13, 14?
No 14 for me. Aiden O'Brien can beat me here.
Wow. Okay. I've been on this Botas horse. First 2, obviously Clement. I really like that horse. I think the 14 is going to be extremely tough, but I'm going 2 deep in that race. 12, 14.
There we go. Cap it off.
All right. While we're on, let's just let's put a narrow ticket together here so we can post online. I have both of our selections for the entire card. Why don't you give me your top selection in each race, or top 1 or 2 if you don't feel comfortable single.
You want for the late pick 5?
Let's just let's do all 10 races.
Okay. Number 9 in the first.
Okay.
Number 7 in the second. Number 7 in the third.
You have 3, 4, 6, 9 in that race.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go 4 in the fourth. You got to use the 6. 6 in the 4 in the fourth.
You want to go 2, 6 or just 6? You want to single it?
I had 3, 4, 6, 9 in the fourth.
No, 5th race.
Oh, 5th race. 2, 6.
Okay. Race 6.
The 5 obliteration. The 6 intricate spirit. 10 Sci-Fair. 11 Schwarzenegger.
Your top 2.
Intricate spirit and obliteration. 5 and the 6.
Okay. Race 7. You had 1, 4.
We're going to go Iron Orchard, the 1.
Okay. Race 8. You had 1, 5, 9, 12.
Yes.
All right. Give me your top 1 or 2 in that race.
That was going to be the 5 and the 9.
5, 9.
Don't forget the 12 there too. The 12 is a must use.
All right. 5, 9, 12.
Mm-hmm.
And then the 9th race.
1 in the 2 is who I like best in that race.
All right. And last race. Give me your top 2 in that race.
I'm going to go outfielder, the 3. And then I do like your horse, Botas, the 12.
12. Okay. Beautiful. All right. Well, listen, we appreciate everybody jumping on sort of last minute. There were some mishaps yesterday and today, but we're all good. And obviously, I hope everybody has a fantastic day. wins a lot of money, is successful, good health, good happiness. We'll try to bring it back tomorrow where we have a little bit more time. I'm going to be studying tonight when I get back. So yeah, we'll try to do this again before the races tomorrow. And I'll be posting the tickets or the horses we're going to roll with on Twitter. All right, on X, I should say. Everybody have a blessed day. It's great.
All right. Good luck.
You're doing this. We'll talk to you soon.